episode 6 of LSMN Overtime.
This is live AV production at Tech East. We focus on broadcasting and storytelling. We produce a student-led sportscast called Overtime that uses journalism to showcase student stories in our professional studio. We also conduct a professional broadcast at LASD sporting events live on YouTube. So if you want to learn visual storytelling, how to run a professional broadcast, and everything in between, this is the class for you. Scan the QR code to check out the LSMN YouTube page.
And welcome to the arena tonight of the Colony. For tonight's broadcast of HP basketball, I'm Brett LeDuc as well as George Hunt as my partner. We have a cool experience tonight as HP Media joins with LHS Network. It's going to look a little bit different tonight, but we are in the same great basketball tonight.
Yes, we are. And we'll be back with tip-off in just a moment and lineups as well.
Scots are going to be Will Saunders, Kellen Cantrell, Colin Noble, Jacob Ario, and Caden Cantrell for the Scots. The Colony's lineup for tonight is going to be Xavier Green, Thor Grissom, Bryce Dixon, Aaron Tachwanto, and Dakari Spear tonight. George, how do you feel about this matchup after the matchup from last time between these two teams?
I mean, I feel like it should be a great match today. I feel like, Colony's coming in. They're coming off that big, honestly, a blowout loss against Scots last time. And they're here in their home arena, and they're going to say, hey, we're looking to make a statement today. We're going to win, and we're not just going to do it by a small margin. We want to beat you as bad as y'all beat us. Although the Scots on a hot streak, man. What are they?
23-4.
23-4. And they lost their first 3, too. So they're 23-1 in their last 24. I'm excited to see how these two match up.
Yeah, it'll be a great matchup tonight for sure. The Colony gets the ball after the Scots do win the tip, it seems like. Jacob Ario had it for a second. Jacob Ario gets it off an alley-oop attempt there from Xavier Green. Kellen Cantrell taking it in for the Scots. He does get it poked away. Going the other way is Bryce Dixon. Dixon goes up through the contact and lays it in.
That's gonna be the big factor today here. Turnover points. Scots a couple weeks ago, I suppose, won that turnover point ratio. They absolutely dominated, forcing turnover. And if the Colony can start doing that today, I mean, hey, they might just turn this game around.
Definitely agree there. It does get tipped away there from the Scots, but it will still retain possession.
I really like the Scots jerseys tonight.
Yeah, they're looking real nice.
I just didn't really expect it. They're not really a kind of, is that deep navy blue?
Yeah,
either way, back to the game.
Yeah. Tries to get a little slip pass back, but he does get blocked there from Spear. Ario, the intention for that pass.
Now, Dakari Spear is going to be the man to watch out for on this Colony team. I mean, he's averaging 23 points per game. 4-star, he's a really good player.
I think that's an understatement.
Understatement that he's just a good player? You're right. He's a really good. How about that?
There you go.
I mean, 23 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, shooting about 62% from inside the three-point line. I mean, he's just been fantastic all year. And while the Scots kind of shut him down last time, Cougars are going to look to feed him the ball just over and over again, as you saw with that attempted alley-oop dunk, which didn't work out for them. But
it will definitely be a great game here, back and forth. Colony do strike first to begin this game, 2-0. Xavier Green taking it up the court for the Cougars. The Scots playing their very recognizable zone defense that they've been playing all season. It's been a great factor. It's been working. They just got to keep it up. 3 for Xavier Green. As I say that, does bury that one.
Well, now, while you might just see the points taken away from that, the Scots did what their defense supposed to. You saw they had 3 men on the guy driving, and they had to kick it out, force that 3 ball. That's a lower percentage shot. They're not going to make that every time.
Yes, they do. Saunders gets it inside to Noble, and he puts it in on a little pick and roll action. Great job there from the Scots to strike right back. And tipped out of bounds. Not a great pass there from Bryce Dixon. Does go out of bounds. Ario.
Unforced turnovers right there. Something I just don't think you can have if you want to win the game.
Jacob Ario for the Scots. Saunders tries to get a little screen there set. Just misses it. Caden Cantrell at the top of the key for the Scots. Scots there do miss their shot. Rebound goes to the Colony, going the other way. Bryce Dixon in to drive, bullying Caden a little bit right there. Ario tries to go for the rebound, but does get a jump ball in the process. George, how do you feel about the rebounding from last game compared to this game so far?
Rebounding from last game, well, we watched the Scots. They've struggled a bit without Henry Beckett in there to rebound, but, it's too early to tell how it's going to be. But, man, if the Cougars can keep knocking down threes like that, I mean, they're going to run away with it.
Too early.
I mean, just two for two, man. I mean, that's what the Scots want to do. They want to force them to shoot threes, but when they're making them, there's not much you can do. And this Cougar defense seems to be really good, too, holding the Scots to 2 points. They haven't allowed them in the paint, which the Scots have been trying to do all season. That's where most of their points come from, inside the paint.
3 there for Cantrell. Does miss, but a foul inside. I believe they do call that one on the Colony. That one is going to be on Aaron Tuchwanto. Sorry if I'm saying the last name wrong. It's going to be an on-the-floor foul, because it was an off-ball foul here.
Looks like Caden Cantrell's trying to argue for shooting, maybe? I mean, he was making a little free throw motion. Now the refs are discussing.
Yeah, I believe they do. They're going to give him 3 free throws now.
Interesting.
Good job from Caden Cantrell there.
Yeah.
And now his brother's going to be shooting.
Interesting that they kind of called it. It looked like they called the foul in the paint. The fact that Scott still gets shots, and it's 3 shots too. That's huge. Free throws. I mean, they're free points basically. As long as you got someone up there who can shoot them, and giving the Scots 3 free points, it's not great. You would have much rather them have to inbound it, maybe get a 2, or even have to attempt another 3.
100% for sure. Second free throw does go out. Noble with the rebound, puts it back up. Just rims out. Rebound Green. Colony trying to move fast. And they do get inside. Spear kicks out. Gets it over to Green. Green for 3. Does miss. Rebound goes back to the Colony again. He puts it up. Misses again. But he gets another rebound. Dixon now trying. Does get blocked on that attempt. Finally, the Scots get the rebound. Caden Cantrell drives in and one.
Wow, too. But that's something you can't do if you're the Scots there. I mean, what was that? 3 different offensive rebounds for the Cougars. Scots really just got fortunate there that the Cougars couldn't find any points from that. But that'll lose you games right there. Letting your opponents get defense or offensive rebounds is not something you can allow to happen.
Starting to feel like early that the rebounds are going to go in the Colony's favor. Free throw good there for the Scots. 8-7 Cougars at the moment. The Colony did go fast break a minute ago, but do slow it down now. Trying to get past this zone defense. Green trying to find space. Long 3. Does miss. Rebound. HP going the other way. Caden Cantrell trying to get a screen. Noble gets one, puts it up, does get fouled on it. I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one either. I saw the ref blow his whistle, and I was like, was there enough contact? I mean, at the end of the day, a foul's a foul. If the ref sees he's going to call it, but how about Colin Noble? He's going to the line. We watched him on Friday. Had what was it, 23, 25 points? I think it was 20.
He was getting close to 30, somewhere in there, man.
Somewhere around that range. He was absolutely fantastic. Had 13 not offensive rebounds, 13 total rebounds. Yeah. He was on fire on Friday.
And if he had 13 offensive rebounds, that game could have looked a whole ton different. Still won it, though. Both free throws do miss there for Noble. Green for 3 again. Does bury that one. That's his second of the night.
I suppose you could say he's green tonight.
Oh, I feel like you used that one last time, too.
I definitely did use that one last time. But, hey, if it's such a good pun, might as well keep coming back.
Saunders for 3 now, trying to match it. That's a big man. Not as much of a three-point shooter himself, but he does put one up there, tries his best. Caden Cantrell fouls Green there. He doesn't like the call, but I'd have to say I do agree with the refs there.
I do agree. He went for the ball, trying to get a little tie-up jump ball called, but, you know, once you kind of start grabbing on that arm, they're going to call it about 80-90% of the time. But look at that shot from Green, just beautiful. Right outside three-point line, swishes it.
Great shot there for Green. He's 2 for 2 on the night now. Spears gives it to Dixon. Another 3 for Green. Does miss that one. Misses his first of the night. Kicks it out. 3 attempt for Spear. That misses. Another offensive rebound for the Colony. Trying to find some space. Dixon for three. He makes that one.
I mean, the Scots are doing what their defense has been trying to do and doing fantastically all year. And that's avoid the 2-point, you know? They haven't really let anybody get inside the paint to get scores. However, when you allow people 3 different opportunities, a 3-point shot. Sorry.
Ario matches his 3 right back.
But when you allow 3 different chances to get a 3-point shot off, they're eventually going to have to make one.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Coach Peeler may have to call a timeout here soon is what I was maybe going to say, but then Ario knocks down a 3.
Momentum's back to
right
even.
back in it. Spear going to try and pump fake for a 3 and drives in instead. Does miss. Noble gets it to Saunders up the court. Caden Cantrell for 3. Buries that one. You could just tell that was going in right out of the shot.
It's not often that you see these games in high school where people are just shooting threes, and kind of only threes. I mean, pretty much all of the Colony's points except for 2 of them have come from 3-point shots, and the Scots have knocked down 2 of their own.
Spear for a jumper makes that one. Both teams really firing on all cylinders right now, doing a great job.
I mean, a 16-13 score, and we still got 2 minutes left to play. We still got 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah. Student section here is loving it for the Colony. Gets it into Noble, strips it away. It's going to stay with the Scots, though.
Scots are bringing in subs. Looks like Cannon Wyatt and Anderson Hochter coming in their first minutes of the night.
As we said last week, Cannon Wyatt, 96% free throw shooter.
I don't think that's too important quite yet. I mean, it certainly was important in that game last week, though. He knocked down, 4 or 6 free throws in consecutive fashion to give their Scots the win.
As we say that, almost shoots a 3. Spear closes on it too fast, though. Saunders gets it over to Cantrell. Wyatt getting guarded closely by Green. Saunders now out to Hochter. Hochter for 3. That goes in. Nice shot there.
Like I said, everybody's just making threes, and that's what I love about this Scots offense. Sure, they're known as kind of the paint team, the one who's going to drive in, play smash-mouth basketball, I suppose you could call it with you. But they've also got shooters like Anderson Hochter, Cannon Wyatt, Jacob Ario, and, you know, sometimes even the big man, Will Saunders, will put up a 3-pointer, and it'll go in most of the time.
I was going to say there, don't disclude us big men, man.
For sure.
Green trying to drive. As we do say that, I believe Jordan Goodman checks in for the Colony. Caden Cantrell, a little fast break for the Scots. And no one goes for the ball, and they just turn it over. Bad turnover there for the Scots. Green drives in, gets fouled on the shot.
Some bad confusion there. I'm not really sure why Saunders didn't get on top of it, because Cannon seemed to be backing off thinking, hey, let me just go sit in the corner over there for a 3-point shot so that once you pick it up, you can grab it. You can get it to me and I can shoot an open 3. But Saunders seemed to think that Wyatt was going to grab it there, and just nothing happened. And those are those unforced errors we talked about. You got no defender in your face there. You got nobody contesting your shot. You shouldn't be turning the ball over there. Simple as that.
100%. First free throw is good there for Green.
Although Cougars have had a couple of those too. I mean, we've seen multiple different turnovers from the Cougars, just kind of not awesome passes, but you know, still stuff that shouldn't happen, hopefully.
100%. You know, Coach Peeler was just like, one of you's just got to pick it up. He didn't care who, just one of you's got to pick that ball up and just do something with it. And now it's past Saunders in the paint now. Kicks it out to Caden Cantrell for 3. Misses that. Hochter gets in there, tips it. Not enough, though, to get the rebound. The Colony gets it, and Hochter fouls him. A little bit of a light foul there.
Refs are calling a lot right now. We've had a bunch of different fouls in the student section.
They're liking it.
The Cougars are getting into it.
They like it for sure. 3 fouls called each way here to start this opening quarter. We may see some foul trouble here at the end.
We definitely could. I don't think any players got 2 yet, but there's certainly.
Hochter actually has 2.
Hochter has 2 already.
Yes, he does.
He's only been in the game for a a little bit of time. And,
Scott's make a crucial error there and just let Goodman just lay up an easy shot.
I mean,
I believe the points do count, but they're going to have to go to the board and check. That was very close. That is definitely going to be a buzzer beater.
extremely close.
Oh, the buzzer didn't go off.
Huh.
As we're saying, they're going to have to go to the monitor and look and see when the time expired.
I always love these little replay reviews. I mean,
we may be able to even get one right here.
We might be able to see it up here. We're not really used to that, but, you know, I don't love too many replay reviews, but when you got a close buzzer beater shot, you're always kind of a little antsy. You're wondering, will this count, will this not? And it looks like they're changing the score down there. Looks like they're going to say it doesn't count for the Cougars.
Nice.
So, final score will be, sorry, not final score.
Oh,
First
man.
quarter score will be 18-16, Cougars over Scots. But how about this setup? I mean,
definitely a great setup here for sure. You got a little replay booth. You got your stats people next to you giving you some stuff if you need it.
exactly. We got camera crew over here. We got 2 cameras here. We got a camera over there. We got 2 cameras on the far side and a camera over there. We got all the angles here.
Yeah, we got like 7 or 8, man.
7 or 8 different cameras. Isn't that nice?
Let's talk about the girls' basketball game from before, man. Like, that was a great game.
Fantastic game. I mean, hey, Scots ended up winning that, I believe, 36-31. But don't let the 5-point score deceive you. That came down to the wire.
Yes, it did.
Cougars had a chance, shot a 3 to tie it, bounced up onto the rim twice, and then out. So close to tying the game up, and the Scots just kind of held on to it to win.
I mean, you just have to be here to see those moments. It's so close to falling, but then it just tips out. The whole arena erupts. They're mad. They think there's a lid on the rim. It's just chaos at that point.
Sometimes it feels that way, and the Cougars fans definitely felt like there was something up with that rim, because you see them like halfway out of their seats, then all the way out of their seats, and then back down in their seats as they realize the shot didn't go in. But a fantastic game. All credit to those gals. They played some great basketball tonight.
Yes, they did, 100%. Scots do win that one. Let's see what happens in this game. Either the Colony will tie it up, or the Scots will sweep tonight. So far, both teams have a little bit to improve on for sure. The Scots definitely got to rebound a lot better. What would you say the Colony have to do to improve in the second quarter?
Honestly, I don't think the Colony's done a great job against a team like the Scots. The Scots have been good enough tonight to make most of their three-point jumpers. That's not where they're comfortable from. They're comfortable from inside the paint.
Wyatt for 3.
And as I say that, Wyatt drills a 3. He's been fantastic at that this year. He went, I believe it was 3 for 6 on Friday night, and he just went 1 for 1 there.
50% maybe failing on a test, but that is very good in basketball. Goodman, the 6th man, does take it up for the Colony. Dixon trying to make Colin move, and he gets a travel instead. Ref says that's a little too much body and a little too much contact, and decides to call a travel for moving that pivot foot.
Good job by Colin there, just sticking in. I guess he was kind of in the paint, but just planting himself like a tree, just not letting his roots get dug up, and not forcing a foul, I suppose, but a travel. Even better. Turnover.
100%. They get it to Wyatt again. Green guarding him very closely, but Wyatt gets another 3 up. Misses that one. That would be his second 3 shot of the game. He is definitely the 3-point shooter for the Scots this season. He has made a lot every game. I haven't seen many inside the paint shots from him, but he has definitely had a lot of 3 shots throughout this season.
Well, now, don't underestimate his driving ability. I've seen multiple different times where he's driven into the paint, not made guys miss like in football, but just kind of gone right over them and scored plenty of points doing that. However, 3-point shooting is definitely his dominant style of basketball.
All right, I stand corrected, man. You got all the stats over here now. Green for 3 once more. That's his 3rd of the game.
I mean, that young man down there is just on fire tonight. We talked about this a couple weeks ago with Jakari Spear, who had, I believe it was 25 against the Scots.
Yes, he did.
A couple weeks ago. But so far, it seems like Green's kind of the man on the mission here, knocking down 3 threes early on in this game.
Ario gets inside the paint. Gets it into Noble. Noble has to go a little bit higher off the backboard because of the Dixon contest. Does miss that one. Goodman gets it over to Spear. A lot of rotation from the Colony so far. They love moving the ball to get these 3 looks. Another one, and that's in for Grissom that time.
Both teams just can't miss from the 3-point line right now. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's just like watching magic happen, I suppose. Scott's defense been doing what they're supposed to do. 3 guys kind of near the ball.
As we say that, you said the stat. He drives in. Cannon Wyatt
will drive in and get those paint points. Now, it's much rarer than his 3-point shots.
Yes,
for
it
sure.
is.
But
Goodman for 3. Does miss that one. Looks like that one was almost going to fall. Oh, and an AM1 called. Man, I don't even know how that one dropped. He got ball and he got all his body, and he still managed to get that one in. Great shot there from Bryce Dixon.
Definitely a great shot. But as we were talking about with Cannon Wyatt, I told you, man, he'll drive in there. He's more of a fan of those little floater jump shots than I suppose the driving layups you see on TV all the time. But he's a darn good player, but so is Green's been a darn good player tonight too. I mean, I don't know what to say. 3 for 4, I believe, from 3. Well, he's at least got 3 3-pointers tonight. Everybody else on the team been a little bit quiet, but you've seen Thor Grissom knock down some shots too. And you've seen other guys get in the paint and draw fouls like Bryce Dixon. I mean, Colony's been good tonight. Scots have been good. We'll see what team comes out on top.
Yes, we will, 100%. And that's going to be a jump ball, I believe, and it's pointing in the Colony direction. Colony trying to improve their lead, getting towards that double digits mark. The Colony taking it up the floor. Green. They seem like they're switching to Green now. Oh! Stolen there by Keeley. Keeley going up the court, shoots a 3. Misses that one. Gets a little excited on a free shot there. Does miss that transition bucket for the Scots. The Colony trying to make something happen. Xavier Green. Spear for 3. Makes it again.
Man, Cougars just knocked down the shots tonight. I mean, this is a stark contrast from just a few weeks ago. Seemed like they couldn't make a shot, let alone make probably, I'd say they've got at least 7 threes so far. I think about 80 to 90% of their points have come from beyond the arc, and they've just been fantastic. Now, I understand Keeley taking that fast break and shooting it. Just because, you know, when they're making those shots, you got to respond with an equally loud 3.
As we say that, and 1 for the Colony to improve their lead to double digits. 31-21 Cougars as the Scots have to call a timeout.
I mean, I think the Scots just called a timeout. I think Coach Peeler said, we need to reorganize here. Our defense is working for what it's supposed to do, but when they're shooting like this from beyond the 3, you got to think he's going to call something to switch it up. Maybe a man, maybe a different zone defense, or maybe just play 2 guys to the ball at all times. I mean, that's kind of what they do.
As you see on the board right now, Christian Gonzalez in the blue hoodie, a Patriots first-round draft pick. Great player in the NFL here tonight to support the Colony. Very cool to have him in the house tonight. He is actually from here, the Colony. He is a graduate from here, so he comes from time to time to watch a game. A little courtside seating for him tonight.
It's always cool, you know. When I think about like celebrities coming back to their old high schools, it just kind of feels like, you know, you're never too big to come back to where you came from. You know what I mean? I was watching the Oklahoma basketball game, and they had Trae Young courtside. I mean, who obviously went to Oklahoma, fantastic player there, now plays for the Hawks. And it's just like so cool to see all these greats coming back to show support for their team, I suppose.
100%. Great to have him in the house tonight. The Scots are going to inbound here to Caden Cantrell. And I believe stoppage of play by the refs. Not sure why. Oh, because they inbounded from the wrong spot, I suppose.
Interesting.
Well, I guess you're able to advance the ball up the court after that timeout. Ario inside has it, gets it tipped away, but the Scots telling Cantrell fast to get on it there. Noble gets it to Saunders. Saunders gets it into Noble, he puts it right up and in.
That's the Scots game plan right there. Paint points. They've been shooting from the three-point line, I think, more than we've ever seen tonight so far. And that's what I think that's what they need to get back to doing. They need to get in the paint, get those two-point shots. Although it won't matter if their defense can't lock them down from shooting threes, because the Colony's just making all their shots tonight.
Yes, they are. Scots seem to be closing out a little bit more on defense now, trying to fix their mistakes, but instead now they get in the paint. Spear puts that one in.
That's what the Scots defense made to stop. We'll have to look on the next possession. Makes you wonder if they've gone back to something different, you know, trying to get some momentum, some sense of momentum.
100%. Ario now with the ball. Gets it to Noble. Inside to Saunders. Saunders puts it in. Some good paint work here from the Scots. Trying to get back into this one as they cut it to single digits. Spear taking it up the court. Gets it to Dixon. Scots trying to contain this three-point right now. Can't seem to do it, as that's another three there for Thor Grissom.
I mean, that's fantastic defense. Anderson Hocker had a hand up in his face, and Thor just knocks down the shot.
Ario for three, long range. This is that one. I don't like that shot selection there from the Scots.
I don't either. Dakari Spear kind of backed off him as if to say, take that shot. I'll let you take that because you're not going to make that most of the time.
A little bit rude there from Dakari, but then he makes another three to back it up. I mean,
I don't know if the coaches can miss. I don't know what to say.
Coach Peeler fired up right now. He is mad.
I mean, your defense designed to stop them getting inside the paint and to force them to shoot those three-point shots. But what do you do when all they're doing is making the three-point shots? I mean, I don't think I've seen them miss more than 3 shots tonight from the three-point line. And those were kind of all in that one possession where they end up getting the rebound and still got a three-point shot.
Definitely, for sure. Scots need to get back into this one if they want to try and get back into it in the second half. Down by 14 right now. 39-25 Cougars. That is already 2 timeouts called for the Scots.
I mean, you got to use them when your opponents just, I mean, it seems like their momentum can't be stopped, is basically what I'm trying to say here. I mean, you call a timeout, you call the first one, you're like, all right, we're down 10, let's go down there and score. They did that, cut it to 8 points. And they just come back and drill a 3. Then you miss. They come back, drill another 3. It just seems like they can't be stopped right now.
Definitely. Kellen Cantrell gets in there, misses it a little too hard off the backboard. Green checks back in for the Colony. And the Scots seem like they're terrified of these 3 balls right now. And they should be. Almost buries another one with Bryce Dixon.
What I've noticed here, the Scots defense switched over from that zone they like to play so much to kind of more of a man defense. Still protecting the paint, as you can see, all 5 guys within 3 to 4 feet of the paint, but also ready to jump on top of the guy trying to shoot the 3 because they know they can't let him make any more of those.
Ario gets fouled just a second ago, and he does inbound. Ario drives, gets in there, blocked, but a little bit of head contact there. Hits him in the face a little bit.
Jacob Ario is a captain this year. It's been great for the Scots so far. I was actually reading the Dallas Morning News. My dad saw something he thought that I would find interesting, and it was a headline about Jacob Ario about how he was only one of, I believe it was 2 returning guys, returning seniors at least this year, so he was kind of forced into the captain role more out of a upperclassman than, although I'm sure he's a fantastic leader.
Oh yeah,
he's been so on the court, but he said he felt like he was kind of forced into it. But he's proven himself to be a great leader. And a quote from Coach Peeler, said, "I can't take this kid off the court," meaning he plays so hard, so fast, so aggressive, and so good as he knocks down those free throws that Coach Peeler can't find a reason to take him off the court.
Definitely. Green taking it up the court. About a minute left here to go in the first half. Seems like he's trying to dribble it out a lot right now, just wasting clock, trying to get the last possession. Scott switch into like a man setting for this final moments. Trying to get a little bit of press to it. But if they do that, they may end up letting up a three. They end up fouling him. Green gets it over to Grissom. Grissom for three. Another one drops.
He's been hot tonight. I believe that's his third three. Now, if you're the Scots here, you want to get the last possession, and at this point, you're kind of thinking, I got to make a three. So we'll see. It doesn't look like they've got Cannon Wyatt in the game currently, but
10 seconds to go. Scott's almost turned it over, but no. Noble for three. Misses that. Tries to tip it back up as Kellen Cantrell. 0.4 is what it says on the clock right now, but I bet they do add a little bit of time possibly.
Maybe add like another 0.5 seconds on there or something.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Doesn't look like they're going to.
No, Scott's definitely have to change it up here in the second half. And that's going to conclude our first half of play as the score, the Cougars 42, Scots 27. This is HP Media and Louisville Sports Media Network. We'll see you after this break.
Welcome to episode 6 of LSMN Overtime.
This is live AV production at Tech East. We focus on broadcasting and storytelling. We produce a student-led sportscast called Overtime that uses journalism to showcase student stories in our professional studio. We also conduct a professional broadcast at LASD sporting events live on YouTube. So if you want to learn visual storytelling, how to run a professional broadcast, and everything in between, this is the class for you. Scan the QR code to check out the LSMN YouTube page.
Welcome to episode 6 of LSMN Overtime.
This is live AV production at Tech East. We focus on broadcasting and storytelling. We produce a student-led sportscast called Overtime that uses journalism to showcase student stories in our professional studio. We also conduct a professional broadcast at LASD sporting events live on YouTube. So if you want to learn visual storytelling, how to run a professional broadcast, and everything in between, this is the class for you. Scan the QR code.
The Cougars. It's been a great matchup so far. George, how do you feel about that first half play?
I mean, that first half play from both sides of the ball was fantastic, although I think the Cougars definitely had an edge there. Their three-point game tonight has been on point. I don't think I've ever seen a team shoot as many and make as many threes as they have tonight. They've been off the charts. Now, the Scots have been doing a lot of things right. Their defense has worked well at kind of keeping players out of the paint. Sure, they've had a couple of drives, but, you know, who doesn't? But their offense, they haven't been able to get in the paint as much as we saw against the same Colony team just a few weeks ago. And instead, they're being forced to shoot more three-pointers, which, of course, can mean larger leads or larger deficits, as we've seen here as the Scots, despite shooting the three ball pretty well, I'd say, have just not been able to keep up with the Cougars so far. We'll see if that changes in the second half, though. Scots down 15 as we begin to start this.
Yeah, definitely. I would say probably the key is definitely like turnovers. A lot of turnovers on both sides of the ball. Scots having a little more there in the first half. Just need to keep the ball on your side. Don't turn it over to either team, and you should be golden here in the second half.
Turnovers definitely a huge part of this game.
The Scots are going to start with the ball here to start the second half. Ario gets it to Kellen Cantrell for three. Does miss that. Rebound for the Scots early. But does get it out of bounds. Hits it off his own leg. The Colony are going to take over from there.
I think the Colony came out with a little more fight today than they did just a few weeks ago.
Definitely. Lost by 30, I believe, a few weeks ago. Now, to open the second half, they're leading the Scots by 15. Scots played with a lot of heart 3 weeks ago. They are still today. They just haven't been able to keep up with the three ball so far. But a great steal there. Fast break points, maybe ahead. And yes, Kellen Cantrell lays it in there for the Scots.
That's what you need to do, force turnovers. You know, turnover margin's a huge thing in pretty much every game, but basketball especially.
Saunders going to be guarding Bryson Dixon going up the court. He gets it over to Spears. Sorry. Green. Oh, makes Ario turn a little bit and drills a three.
That was just fantastic footwork right there by Green. Just a little spin move, three-point jumper, and he's been knocking those down all night.
And I'm not going to lie, Ario was in a little bit of a spin cycle right there after that move. Great play there from Green. Ario just got caught up in the mess. Saunders gets it into Noble, playing a little high-low. Gets it back to Saunders, matches Green's shot. Great shot there. Oh, okay,
Sorry.
yeah, no.
Hey, we both wanted to talk about how great that shot was.
Green gets a little bully, but gets a charge in the process.
Interesting calling a charge there. It didn't really look like Caden Cantrell had his feet set there. It looked like he was still moving.
You can see that three shot, just a great stroke. I mean, just beautiful shot there from Green. Caden Cantrell taking out the scorch for the Scots. Gets it into Noble down low. Noble puts it up and in.
Kind of looked like he was shooting it there. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Shooting form pass. I mean, hey, if it gets you points, though, who cares?
Well, the arena, I feel like, was about to chant air ball until they saw it hit Noble's hands. Green gets it to Spear. I think the Colony's trying to find some threes here early. Scots have cut it to 11. It's going to be a foul called there on the captain, Colin Noble.
We've had a lot of fouls tonight. We haven't really talked about that as much because it hasn't resulted in a ton of free throws. But, I mean, hey, we had 6 total fouls in the first quarter. I'm not exactly sure how many we had in the second, but it was at least 3 or 4, and we've already got 2 within the first 2 minutes of the game here. Makes you wonder, is it kind of more soft fouls, hard fouls? Like, what are the refs seeing?
Just a little bit of reffing style, just a little bit different than what we're used to. A little missed shot there from Spear. Noble with the rebound. Gets a good pass into Cantrell. Fast break action. Gets it to Ario. Ario drives in, uses his body. Can't make that one. Rebound there. And one held there. Great shot there from Aaron Independe.
Just as I said, they weren't calling as many kind of shooting fouls. We see, I believe it was Spears who will go to the line.
Yes, he will. Oh, I'm sorry. It was not Aaron Independe. It was Spear. Oh, I'm sorry. That's on me. Free throw here. Good there. The Colony approaching 50 tonight. Not many teams have been able to do that against the Scots this season. Maybe the first to hit it this early into the game. Scots turn it over, going the other way. As we said to start this broadcast, you really just have to not be in that turnover ratio that much. It's been all about that for the past 2 games between these teams, and it's still about that tonight.
I agree. I mean, just a couple weeks ago we saw massive amounts of turnovers on the Cougar side. There were some with the Scots, but not even close to as much.
Great job there for the Scots. They get a steal. Cantrell goes up, but blocked by Grissom. I mean, just absolutely coming from the sky there. Great job. Almost hits it off the backboard.
Great block, but it'll still be the Scots' ball, and the student section's getting into it here. We'll see this fast break again. Grissom getting up there, absolutely destroying that ball. Doing a good job not to foul, because the refs have been shown to be pretty prone to calling those types of fouls tonight.
He says, no, no, no. This is Mount Matumbo.
We're throwing in Mount
oh,
Matumbo
yeah, we are.
references now.
We are. Wag that finger, baby. Scots inbound it. A turnover once again. The Scots got to play a little bit of cleaner ball on the side of the Colony right now. Green taking it up the court. He gets a mismatch, but an off-ball foul called there on Cantrell. Caden Cantrell moves Aaron Independe a little off base there. Ref looks at it and decides it's a little too much contact.
I mean, Scots have been good all season about staying out of foul trouble, but I mean, we've seen several different off-ball fouls. Can't be having those.
Dixon trying to find a shot. Not a great pass there, but Green makes it work. Makes a jumper happen, drills it.
I mean, he's just been the story tonight so far. I mean, he's been knocking out threes. I believe he's got 4 or 5, and obviously that 2-point jumper you just saw right there, absolutely beautiful.
Noble for 3. That one goes in. The captain.
Scots have also been shooting well, man. Just a game of who can shoot better.
Definitely, definitely. This game has gone back and forth quite a bit. Mostly been in the Cougars' favor. Scots down 13 here with about 3:50 left in the third quarter. Green trying to find a little bit of a mismatch, trying to get that switch on to Noble. Can't get it there, so he gives it to Spear to try and make something happen. And he almost does, and he gets blocked. Ooh, I don't know if I like that call.
I'm not sure either. I mean, it does look like the player was hit. I mean, when you see him kind of fall backwards, it's pretty clear indication that he was kind of touched in some way, but at the same time, I felt like, was it Ario with the foul? I believe it was. I believe Ario got pretty much just the ball, and then Spear kind of as a reaction was like backwards trying to throw the ball back up off the backboard. But again, the Colony shows their prowess in rebounding here. I mean, as Spear surrounded by 3 Scots just got up there, got the rebound, drew the foul, and is now shooting 2.
Rebounds are a huge part of this game. Gives you so much more time to be able to shoot and get possession time. First free throw good there for Spear. Do we happen to know his free throw percentage on the season? I mean, he's been hot.
Let me see if I've got that here. Free throw, yes, I actually do. 83%.
Okay, he's pretty good.
Pretty good.
He makes both there.
I'd say 83% is really, really good. I mean, you're making 8 out of 10, I suppose.
Oh, offensive foul called on Saunders. Moves a little too quick on that screen.
Moved a little too quick, but it also kind of looked like Spear, I wouldn't say on purpose, but definitely ran into him. And it's just kind of like, who do you call that on? You know what I mean? Because sure, Saunders didn't have his feet set, but he also wasn't expecting to be run into at that point in time. But the refs have shown they're going to call those fouls. Scots have 5 just in this third quarter alone. I'm assuming we're going to soon start seeing some guys get into foul trouble.
Definitely. Scots have played some good basketball, but the fouls have not gone in their favor. Definitely going to be a lot of foul trouble here at the end of this game. Scots first got to focus on getting back in it, though. Down by 15 right now. Green trying to make something happen for Colony. And he does a little spin cycle. Misses that one. Wyatt does check in for the Scots. We missed that. He's going to be their three-point shooter as well as Hochter. They're trying to find some space. Hochter gets it out to Wyatt. Wyatt trying to make some space happen. Can't. Gets it into Noble. Noble misses. Can't get his own rebound.
Backboard's been off for the Scots tonight. They've thrown several different shots up there. Look like they've gone in, but just haven't.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Spear. He got his feet set. Great job by Hochter there in the paint. Spear wasn't expecting it and just drove back into it and just caused that offensive foul.
I mean, Spear seems like can't believe it. Let's go back to that foul here. Oh, I mean,
a little bit of a flop, a little bit
of a flop, but hey, if it gets the foul drawn, it gets the foul drawn. But at the same time, it didn't look like Hochter's feet were fully set there. I don't know if that should have been a foul at all.
Again, we got in slow motion. I mean, it's hard to call in real time. These refs, doing a great job tonight officiating so far. Saunders tries to get a shot, gets fouled by Dixon. I believe that's actually going to be, sorry about that. I believe that's going to be Aaron Independi, actually.
I just looked up at the scoreboard and realized that 9 total fouls between both teams this quarter alone. And we're only 6 minutes into the quarter.
I thought the refs were stiff in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been kind of foul after foul. And whether that's just the guys playing super hard, just going after each other, trying to get those rebounds, trying to get those buckets. But Saunders, unfortunately, missed the first one.
He does miss the first there, keeping the margin at 15. Misses the second as well. Big man, not as much of a style of free throw shooter.
Although, I mean, he's proven he can make those shots. I mean, we've seen him knock down threes before. I mean, free throw line's definitely different.
Great shot there for the Colony. Almost stolen, but yes, it actually does get stolen. But fouled, and they're going to, wow, okay. They call a foul, and the crowd was wanting a big dunk there from Spear. Just can't get it because of the foul called.
I think it was an off-ball foul there on, looks like Saunders. Let's go back to the replay here.
Well, they're going to show the nice layup from before. That was really nice. We did miss that a little bit. Great shot there from Dixon. Goodness. Those off-ball fouls that we just saw just a second ago, when it results into a fast break and they call a foul on it, it's going to turn into free throws even if you aren't shooting.
Yeah.
Independi makes the first.
Although I got to think the Scots got to be either at the 1-and-1 mark or very, very close. I know that screen up there only says 5, but I believe that was their 6th foul of this quarter.
I believe you're correct.
I mean, I guess it does reset, but 6 fouls in a quarter. I mean, it'll help them if they need to play the foul game, but you're also looking at getting guys in foul trouble.
Speaking of that, Carson Wiles checks in for the Scots. Hasn't got a whole ton of playing time this season, but when fouls come into play, he does a great job of getting in this game and get the Scots momentum. Keeley also checks in for the Scots. Saunders trying to find space. Wiles for 3. Misses that one. Green gets the rebound. I mean, man, for a little guy, he's getting a lot of rebounds tonight.
I mean, Green's just kind of been looking more like a one-man army than a basketball player.
Him and Spear together have been great all night. Lots of threes, lots of buckets down low. Dixon getting to work. Drops that one in. Makes Saunders look very little right there.
I mean, not much you can do when you're Saunders. I mean, you're just kind of letting him hip check you because you don't have much of another option if you try and move against him.
Man, crazy play there as well. Gets it into Wyatt. Foul called there on Green. I believe that's going to put 1-1 for the Scots now.
Everybody's at 1-1 now. I mean, 11 fouls in 1 quarter. I mean, that's certainly something.
It's been a crazy quarter for sure. Very slow because of all these fouls, but very action-packed at the same time.
Although, look who's at that free throw line.
Oh, it's Wyatt. Don't jinx him now. He makes the first.
Announcer's jinx hadn't taken in yet, but as we mentioned before, I believe that Wyatt is 95% on the season with free throws. Been fantastic free throw shooter. Clutch in clutch moments, some might say.
Yes, he is. That's a good analogy. I like that.
Clutch in clutch moments?
Oh, yeah. Second, he does miss. We did jinx him. Hochter for 3. He meant to do it.
He meant to do it. That's the only reasonable option there. He knew they'd get the rebound. He knew Anderson Hochter would absolutely drill a 3.
Great selfish play there. There's a good rebound there by the Scots to get it out to Hochter. Amundsen checks in for the game for the Scots. Hasn't seen a whole ton of play time this season, but does check in. Foul trouble has set in a little bit for the Scots. He's going to be guarding Green, which is definitely a hard matchup for someone who's been he's been hot all game, and Amundsen checks in. Cold, not as warmed up. Dixon drives. Hochter trying to contest. Man, Dixon is making everyone look small right now.
Too bad. Kind of hoping they
You always see those. You just hope they drop.
It's always cool. Brings me back to the Villanova game, that national championship all those years ago. But as we look here, Highland Park first in their division, leading 9-0 in district play. I mean, they're looking to make a strong case for the district championship, but not far behind them, 7-2 in the district, the Colony. I mean, Scots have already beat them once, but they might split games here, and we might be seeing them. The Scots might be seeing them for a 3rd time in the district championship.
Definitely. This district is very action-packed, as well as Lone Star at 7-2 as well. We're seeing these replays. Dixon playing some hard-nosed basketball right now.
I know we've talked about kind of Green, who's been kind of the man of the night here, just knocking down all those shots. But you know who else has been good? Dixon. I mean, I've watched him drive in just multiple different times and just absolutely lay into someone. Not a ton of fouls calling him for charges, but he's been getting in there, making layup after layup after layup. If they don't have a 3-point, I think that's the guy they go to. Also, I'm receiving news that Xavier Green, 2 sport D1 scholarship offers, basketball and football, to SMU.
I mean, that's just absurd.
That's ridiculous. I wish I could get 1 D1 scholarship offer. I'm nowhere near good enough for 1, let alone 2.
Little Kyler Murray out there. Little basketball, little football. You can see it. He's very athletic. I mean, just making a ton of shots, great passes. Green drives in. Wow. I mean, that just shows you how well he's played all game.
I mean, he's not just the guy to make threes. He's the guy to drive it, too.
I mean, he almost threw that down on Wiles right there. I mean, Wiles standing at about 6'6". I mean, Green, not that tall at all, about 6 foot. And he makes him look very small there. Wyatt trying to find some space. Spear is guarding him, probably because of the 3 ball. He wants a large contest on him, and he can with that. Hochter drives in. Pretty good off the backboard, does miss. Puts it up again, misses a 4th rebound, and he does finally make it.
There you go. Those rebounds will get you points, especially those offensive ones.
I think that is probably the most rebounds we've had in one possession all game by one team. Dixon drives in again. I mean, he is just on fire.
we've talked about Green. We haven't really talked about Dixon as much, although as I alluded to kind of near the end of the third, he's been great at driving, getting in the paint, and making those easy layups.
Yes, he has been for sure. He's had a lot of points this game. Wish we knew exactly how many, but he has been definitely great all game. Keeley trying to find some space. He gets fouled in the process. The crowd isn't happy about it, but I do like the call there.
I do like the call too. Normally in a different game, I wouldn't like the call as much, but as we look here, we get the 4 rebounds here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's number 3. Oh,
4. It's technically 4.
Technically 4, I suppose. But
goes off the backboard again.
Yeah. But about that foul though, I mean, in other games, I'd say, maybe you could call it. I'd kind of lean more towards maybe a jump ball, but it looks like Colony's going to take a timeout. Their coach seems to be a little bit frustrated, is probably the right word, with the refs currently. They'll take a quick timeout. But on that foul again, in another game you might not see that call, but the way the refs have been calling it tonight, they made it very clear that any, and I mean pretty much anything that's considered against the rules will be called a foul. I mean, we had 11 total fouls in just the third quarter alone. I mean, I'm all for following the rules, but sometimes I feel like you just got to let them play.
100%, definitely. It's a physical sport. It almost feels like you're getting let's relate it to football. A little pass interference call. There's a lot called on those that you don't like, but at the same time, they're going to call them, and both teams aren't going to like it, or one team will like it. It's just really hard for the refs to find a happy medium. Either way, teams are going to be mad.
Yep, but the refs have been reffing a great game tonight. They've been calling it great. The fouls, most of the fouls I do think have been good, well-called fouls. And just thanks to the officiating crew that's been fantastic tonight.
Yes, they have been. This is brought to you by HP Media and Louisville Sports Media Network. Done a great job all night. Media crew, all the cameramen, all the people behind the scenes. Thank you to all of them for bringing this broadcast to you.
I mean, the cameramen have been awesome tonight. We've gotten angles from 8 different sides of the court. We've gotten replays on here. I mean, we're living the dream.
This is a great setup for sure. Keeley going to be shooting his free throws now. I believe it's going to be 1-1 for him. Keeley, a pretty good free throw shooter on the season. He does make his first. Keeley, not one of the taller players on the team. He is a senior, standing at about 6'2". I believe it's actually Kelly. I'm sorry.
No shame. I thought it was Keeley too.
No, man. The dyslexia gets to me a little bit. It just gets there. You see 2 E's. So that's 2 L's. Spear drives in, almost throws that one home, but instead just lays it up. Trying to not put too much salt in the wound here for the Scots tonight. 20-point deficit right now. Hochter trying to just make something happen. Almost turn it over. Kelly for 3. Makes that one.
That's a start. That's what the Scots are going to need. They're going to need to start knocking down threes. Although I'd like to point out some of the key role players tonight for the Colony. I mean, Dakari Spear and obviously Xavier Green have been fantastic. But Thor Grissom, we haven't talked about him as much, but he knocked down a couple threes early on. And, of course, my apologies, Bryce Dixon. Yep, he's been fantastic, driving the paint, doing anything he needs to do.
Yes, he has been for sure. Goodman trying to find some space, tipped away by Kelly. Amundsen gets it to Kelly again. He gets blocked off the backboard. Oh, and he does miss a little gimme layup there. He knows it too. He bends over. He's mad about that one.
There's some shots you wish you had back, and I imagine for Davis Kelly that'll be one of them. I think he definitely wants. I think he definitely liked that one back. Look at this block though. I think we're going to see a replay.
Great defense.
Damn, just got up there off the backboard. That's everything you want to block, and just unfortunately hits kind of that.
Look who it is again. It's Green.
Green just making all the plays tonight. But unfortunate for Kelly, just bounced on the very outside corner of that square.
As you said last game, I mean, you said the square is your worst nightmare, and I think Kelly would agree with you right there. Green gets fouled there. by Kelly.
What I've noticed about the Scots defense, they seem to have kind of moved away from their zone in favor of a man. And while I've definitely noticed that the Cougars have not been making nearly as many threes they were in the first, it's been opening up that lane so much for players like Bryce Dixon, Dakari Spear, and of course Green to drive through there and just absolutely destroy buckets in the paint. As you can see, they've kind of switched to more of a man zone. But look, Spear's going to drive.
Switching this defense may just be a little bit too late as Spear drops that one in. This game may be all forgotten. 19-point deficit. Oh, they almost steal it away, but they do call foul on it instead.
Interesting call there. I don't know how much I like that one. Kind of looked like he got mostly ball, but look, Spear
just driving in, using his big body. Hochter can't even do anything about it.
And that's the unfortunate thing for the Scots. They got down so much so early on that it just made it to where their defense has to open the lane. They can't allow any more threes.
Kelly for three. Almost makes that one. He gets the rebound from Noble. Puts it up against the end one. Great shot there.
Kelly's been playing fantastic these past couple minutes. I mean, he had a three there. Obviously a missed one, but very close. And then a steal plus now bucket plus a free throw. Can't complain about that.
No, you cannot. He makes his free throw. It goes down to 16, which sounds like a lot. It really is, but there's 4 minutes to go.
Anything can happen, man.
You never know. You just never know in basketball.
As I'm fond of saying, it's never over till the fat lady sings. So.
Man, you've said it before. You say it again. It's great saying. I mean, it's 100% true as well. Hochter trying to guard Spear. Trying to just waste some time out. Goodman gets it to Green. Green drives, just has a free dunk, and he throws it home. Woo!
And the bench for the Colony just comes onto the court. You have to imagine that might have been his first dunk. The way the bench came off. Let's see this replay.
That's the first dunk of the game for sure. He throws that home.
One-handed, just absolutely slams it down. And I don't blame the Colony for celebrating there. I would have done the same thing if I watched one of my friends throw down a dunk like that. I mean, that was just disgusting. He just drove the paint, and because the Scots haven't been able to play their zone, they don't have somebody like Carson Wiles or Will Saunders or Colin Noble, someone with a lot of height to guard that. They don't have the guy to take the charge. So just wide open lane for Xavier Green, and he throws it down.
I mean, not one of the tallest on his team, but one of the best verticals, definitely. Gets up there, throws it home. You can see the student section. He did it right in front of them. They erupted, and you can just see it from here. It looked like a wave. It was just over and over, just everyone jumping. I mean, great throwdown from him. That just defines how this game went tonight. The Scots could not get back into this one. Still technically could.
There's always time. You never know. Never say it's over, but it is looking
very
dire now.
Grissom, as you could say. A little bit grissom. You could throw that in there a little bit. Come on, you like my dad joke?
Are we doing puns now?
Oh yeah, we're doing puns. Noble gets it to Hochter. Hochter trying to find some space. Noble drives in, gets it blocked. Finn Moreland checks in the game for the Scots. Gets a nice rebound there. Kelly, just misses. Going the other way. Spear going up. Puts it in.
I think Spear wanted a dunk there too. I don't know if you saw it, but when they were passing.
Noble puts it up, but can't make that one, but does draw a foul in the process.
But I'm pretty sure Spear wanted a dunk. I don't know if you saw it, but
oh yeah, you could see it. He wanted
that, but unfortunately Osmondson in his way, not permitting the dunk. However, if that pass had been a little bit more on target, I have no doubt he is jamming that down. One hand, two hand, maybe a windmill. You never know. You see those occasionally.
4 stars. I mean, is that equivalent to a windmill?
Probably not. I mean, those are incredibly difficult to pull off.
It's definitely hard to do, but great player. Cougars have played a great game tonight. Free throws, no good there for Noble.
A rousing chant from the student section over there.
They're just starting to get really happy after the defeat last time. Scots beat this team by 30. Tonight, it just doesn't even seem like that would have been possible. But the Cougars have played a great game tonight. 3 nationally ranked players. I mean, great team. Somehow only 19-10. I think they're going to definitely pick it up throughout this season, though.
Although you got to remember they are 7-2 in conference play.
Yes, they are.
So, or I guess not conference. I guess it would be district play. But you got to think they must have played some pretty solid schools to have racked up an extra 8 losses. This is a great team, and although we might not have seen that, I think the coach might have just gotten tossed. I could be wrong. I thought I saw the ref do that.
I don't think he did. I think he just called a foul and was kind of mad, but it did look like it a little bit. You are correct.
For a second, and I was about to say, well, that's certainly interesting.
It's a way to go and a big win. Moreland puts it up. Can't make that one. A little gimme shot. You got to use the backboard. Moreland also decides to foul him on the way. Going to be free throws here for Dixon.
I mean, again, a foul-heavy game on kind of both sides. You got 5 fouls for the Cougars, 3, maybe, I think that might have been the 4th, just this quarter for the Scots. You got to remember, that would be 8 or 9 just in this quarter, plus the 11 from last quarter, and we're not even talking about the first half. Been a very, I wouldn't say slow game, a lot of stoppage going on in and out of the game.
A lot of aggressive play for sure.
I agree.
mean, in this half alone, I think there's close to 20. Oh, man. He wanted it. He wanted it.
Spear wanted it, and he went up there and got it. And he just absolutely slammed that one home.
He goes, my buddy got it. I got to do the same thing right back to him. As we say that, Amundsen gets a little fadeaway bucket.
The student section's cheering as it looks like Sean Keenan's going to
replay. Oh, man, he just absolutely just gets by everyone and just absolutely plasters the rim of the backboard. I mean, he has had a great night tonight. This whole team for the Colony has played so much as a whole. Scott's over here just looking a little bit sad. This word, I can't think of a bigger adjective, but just very sad and just not looking like their usual self tonight.
Especially because the Scots haven't really known defeat this season. We talked about it earlier. 3 straight losses to start the season, all against tough 6A opponents. 2 out of the 3 of them were by less than 4 points. All 3 fantastic games. And since then, 23-1. They've played fantastic. They've knocked off team after team after team. And this includes this Cougar team, who, against the Scots, look, honestly, pitiful.
They really did.
I would say they shot a similar amount of threes, but they made maybe 1/5 of the threes they made tonight. Cougars have been on point, and I don't know if that's got something to do with being at home or if that's got something to do with it being the Scots, the team who kind of beat up on them last time. I mean,
I think it definitely comes down to a lot of home court advantage. You see it in the NBA happen a lot. Wizards, not a great team, beat a big team like the Celtics sometimes, and it's just because maybe a team is a little injured, which is Henry Beckett out, Henry Isles out. See a little bit of injury from the Scots, but you also see them play a very good game tonight. A little bucket there, gets blocked by Kelly, but I don't know, they wanted goaltending, and I have to agree with them. He did definitely hit the net there. Moreland for 3. Misses that. Hoffer gets a great rebound.
Gets up for it. He's not the tallest guy on the team by any means, but he got up for that one.
Does go the other way. Dixon gets fouled on the other end.
I saw the student section start to stand up when Sean Keenan got the ball down to the paint there. Sorry, it looked like they wanted him to score. He might be good friends over there with a lot of them. But it looked like they really were going to go nuts if he had made that.
Yes, they would for sure. Scots 20-1 after those first few losses to begin the season. I mean, just absolute mayhem from this night. Scott's going to take their second loss since then. It has been a minute since they've lost. Bus ride home for them may not be so joyful.
For sure. Now I gotta think, but you gotta think that Coach Peeler is gonna talk to them either tonight, probably after the game, or tomorrow during practice, and I get a feeling they're gonna get back on track here. They're gonna keep being the great team we've been seeing all season.
Yes, they will, 100%. Upcoming games for the Scots. This Friday they are playing Newman Smith, as next Tuesday they are also playing at Reedy. So definitely a couple other games. They did beat up on Newman Smith. They did, I believe, actually beat them by 50.
Wow.
Big margin there for the Scots. But they do play Reedy. I believe this can be the first time this season. That'll be a good game. Test the Scots very well as they have a great team. Free throws coming here for Kelly, as well as the Colony upcoming schedule. Creekview on Friday for them, as they also play Lone Star, who they will be tied with in second place in district. They play them on Tuesday. It's going to be a big game for sure.
They just announced it.
1,000-point.
Xavier Green, 1,000 points in his high school career.
I mean, that's on varsity alone. That is just crazy stuff.
Although I'm pretty sure he's been on varsity since he was a freshman.
Oh, has he? Okay.
I mean, he's only a junior though, and he's been fantastic these past couple of seasons. I mean, 1,000 points. You're telling me you're averaging? I guess it would be 333, but since this season's only halfway over, he's got to be averaging close to 400 points a season to get up to those numbers.
You can see Dixon hyping him up on the bench here. He's just maybe even getting a little emotional as Green. Very happy to hit that mark, and just an absolute milestone for him in his career.
And he's had an absolute night. Again, we reiterate that some of Highland Park's biggest failures have come by the hands of Xavier Green. As we saw, I mean, he went 3 for 4 to start that first quarter. And I think the Scots kind of knew, hey, this guy's a threat. He may not have been as big of a threat last time, but he will shoot and he will make it.
Yes, he will, 100%. A little bit of the bench unloading here now. Some of the bench players coming in. Hochter gets a nice steal and lays it in.
Scott's still fighting hard till their bitter end here.
Till the buzzer. That's always how you got to do it. It's a 17-point margin. 50 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Momentum going into the playoffs definitely has to be right now. For this game specifically, I would say it's in the Colony's favor. I mean, they definitely just coming off a big win against HP here tonight. 17-point margin right now, going to stay in that double digits. I mean, just doing a great job tonight of keeping the momentum going into the playoffs. The Scots not going to have as much, but they can definitely still get on track in these final few games and get some nice momentum going into the playoffs and play some good rounds there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sure, the Colonies definitely got the momentum right now. They knew coming into this, hey, these guys beat up on us last time. Let's go out there and show them, and they certainly have tonight. And this is a good Colony team, although they're going to have to play real hard against that Lone Star team if they want to have a chance of making the district title, which will most likely be against the Highland Park Scots, as the Scots would have to drop 2 of their last 4 district games, which
yes, they will.
It's possible, but I don't really see it happening with this good of a team. I think they're gonna get rested up, get recalibrated, and get ready for Friday.
And they would have Beckett going into the playoffs. I'm not sure about Isle's status, but definitely Henry Beckett. Only about a week and a half left, I believe, in his rehab.
That's been a huge key piece tonight. Henry Beckett, been one of the best players on the Scots this year. Their leading points
stolen by Hochter. He's going to throw it up and does lay it in. Tries to go for the dunk. Decides against it. No point tonight. No point to get some energy in here because it is all evaporated.
For sure. As we were talking about with the Scots, Henry Beckett being out is a huge loss, and we're going to see that Hochter steal. Oh, you think he would have gotten there?
I think he could have if he really wanted to.
But he decides, you know what, we're down 15 now. It's not worth it to to dunk it to send a message because
I think he may have saw Peeler out of the corner of his eye and was like, I don't want to do it because he's going to light me up, but I don't know. It could be a little scary there.
for sure. As we were talking about with playoffs, Scots will hopefully have Henry Beckett, key player, their leading point scorer and their leading rebound guy. 6'5", big dude. He's been a huge key piece in the Scots, and they've certainly missed him these past couple of games. However, the Colony doesn't seem like they're missing any key players. I mean, you got Dakari Spear, you got Green, you got Thor, he stepped out there.
Yes, he does step out. Ref a little late to call it, but does end up calling it. Timeout called by the Colony. That may be before he stepped out. I'm not 100% sure because they didn't signal anything, but definitely called a timeout. It's going to be one way or the other.
I feel like the ref over there would have had to signal the timeout kind of before he stepped out, so I think this should most likely be HP ball here. But Scots, like I said, they're going to keep fighting. I mean, hey, if there was more time left in the game, I'd say, hey, maybe there's a chance. And it looks like we've got a cheerleader performance on the floor right now.
Yes, they are definitely doing a little bit to end this game. Trying to get the crowd hyped up once again for these final 35 seconds. I mean, just an absolute great performance tonight by even both teams. Both teams have done great.
Both teams have played fantastic. There's been good things on both sides of the ball. There's been bad things on both sides of the ball. Both things teams will have to work on. But tonight, you got to hand it to the Cougars. They were the better team tonight.
This is the time to definitely make mistakes as well before the playoffs when it does matter but doesn't have as much of a stake. 3 here, no good. Going to kick it back out. Oh, we're going to be a backcourt as it does go off.
No, because it was a tip by one of the Scots players.
Okay. Missed that completely. Little jumper, does miss. Hochter gets it. Gets it to Kelly. Kelly tries to go up. It's absolutely rejected there by Sean Keenan.
I think he was planning on going up for a dunk too. I think he wanted the disrespect, and instead he got disrespected there. And the Colony crowd goes nuts. We've seen a couple of different insane plays. We're gonna watch again. Oh, he was definitely going up for the dunk and just got swatted.
Amundsen gets it to Hochter. Final few seconds, misses. And that's going to be it here. I mean, great performance tonight from the Cougars. Just absolutely dominant from the start. Great job overall from both teams. And that's going to do it for us here tonight for this broadcast of HP basketball. I would like to thank HP Media as well as Louisville Sports Media Network for having us here tonight. And I would like to thank the crew for tonight as well. The director, DJ, tech director, Alex, graphics, Jake, replay, Aiden, the cameras, Abby, Miguel, Carl, and River. Thank you for all that tonight. From my partner and I, George Hunt, and I am Brett Leduc. Thank you for being here tonight. Signing off. See you next time.